Hello, terrific viewers. Ever thought about cashing in on some stocks? Fancy being a Wall Street tycoon? Or maybe you've dreamed about bathing in a pool of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck? I hope not, that would really hurt. Anyway, before you dive headfirst into the world of stocks and shares, let's take a detour down catastrophe lane. Here are the top 10 biggest stock market crashes in history that might make you reconsider. No, don't worry, it's not as depressing as it sounds. Buckle up. We start our journey with the Wall Street crash of 1929. Also known as Black Tuesday, this crash marked the beginning of the Great Depression. In just a few days, billions of dollars were wiped off the market. It was the longest, deepest, and most widespread depression of the 20th century. Sounds like a fun time, doesn't it? Next up, we have Black Monday of 1987. Despite the name, this was no ordinary bad Monday. Stock markets around the world crashed, shedding a huge value in a very short time. The crash began in Hong Kong and spread west to Europe, hitting the United States after other markets had already declined by a significant margin. Well, if you're going to do it with style. At number 8, we're taking you back to the dot-com bubble of the early 2000s. This was when the stock market got carried away with the shiny new tech industry. Too carried away, it turns out, as the bubble burst and tech stocks plummeted. But hey, who could have predicted Pets.com wasn't a safe bet? Crashing into number 7, we have the 1973-74 stock market crash. Triggered by an oil crisis when the members of OPEC proclaimed an oil embargo, the stock markets tumbled worldwide. Let's just say, nobody was feeling very good about it. Rolling into number 6, we're looking at the panics of the late 19th century. These were a series of financial crises that sent the U.S. stock market into a spin. With no Federal Reserve to step in, these panics had a major impact. In some cases, they led to economic depressions. Not a great era for those looking to make a quick buck, or any buck, really. Halfway down at number 5, we have the Japanese asset price bubble crash in the early 1990s. After a period of intense speculation in the late 1980s, the bubble burst and Japan's economy was in ruins. The country then entered a period of economic stagnation known as the lost decade. Or, as investors might call it, the decade we'd like to forget. Sliding into the 4th spot, we revisit the 2008 global financial crisis, which was the most serious financial crisis since the Great Depression. The domino effect of the subprime mortgage bubble bursting, Bear Stearns going under, and Lehman Brothers filing for bankruptcy led to a global recession. It's like a party, but everyone's crying and your savings have disappeared. For our top 3, we're kicking off with the South Sea bubble of 1720. A British joint stock company's shares skyrocketed and then violently crashed, leading to a financial crisis in Britain. It just goes to show that crazy market bubbles aren't a new thing. They didn't have Reddit, but they sure knew how to hype up a stock. Nearly at the top, we're at number 2 with the crash of 2002, following the 9/11 attacks in 2001. The global stock market took a major hit and the NYSE remained closed until September 17, the longest shutdown since 1933. When it reopened, stocks suffered a record-breaking loss. And finally, at number 1, the crash that takes the crown, the Wall Street crash of 1929. We've come full circle, ladies and gentlemen. This was the granddaddy of all market crashes. It led to the Great Depression, and its effects were felt worldwide for over a decade. But hey, it all worked out in the end, right? I mean, apart from all the other crashes we just mentioned. And there you have it. Our countdown of the top 10 biggest stock market crashes in history. Now, remember, the stock market isn't all doom and gloom. It has its ups and downs, just like this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for more terrific top 10s.